The kiss lasted 3 seconds and destroyed 10 years of friendship. Or at least that is what I thought until Cameron texted me the next morning with 3 words that changed everything. My name is Nathan Peterson, and last night I did the stupidest thing I have ever done. I kissed my straight best friend while wearing a dress, and now I am waiting to find out if our friendship survived my moment of complete insanity. It happened at my apartment during what was supposed to be a normal Friday night. Cameron and I had been doing movie nights every week since high school. He would bring pizza and I would pick something terrible to watch, and we would make fun of it for 2 hours while eating our weight in junk food. Except last night was different because Cameron showed up an hour early and I was still dressed as my feminine self. I had been taking pictures for my Instagram all afternoon, wearing a soft purple dress that made me feel beautiful. Makeup done perfectly. Hair styled in loose curls. I was supposed to have plenty of time to change back into regular clothes before Cameron arrived, but he used his spare key and walked right in. We stared at each other for a long moment. Him in the doorway holding pizza. Me frozen in the middle of my living room wearing a dress. Nathan, he said like he was not sure it was actually me. I can explain, I started. You look amazing, he interrupted. That was not what I expected him to say. Not even close. Cameron was the most stereotypically straight guy I knew. Captain of the football team. Dated half the cheerleading squad. Talked about sports and cars and all the things straight guys are supposed to care about. You are not freaked out? I asked. Why would I be freaked out? You look happy. More relaxed than I have seen you in months. He came further into the apartment and set the pizza on the counter. How long have you been doing this? 3 years. I thought you would be here at 8 like always. I was going to change. Do not change, he said. Not for me. Please. Something in his voice made my chest feel tight. We had been best friends since we were 12 years old. Survived middle school and high school and the first years of college together. But in that moment, standing in my living room in a purple dress, I felt like I was seeing him for the first time. I am still me, I said quietly. This does not change who I am. I know. But it explains some things. He sat on my couch and looked at me seriously. All those times you seemed uncomfortable around the guys from the team. All those parties you left early. All those conversations where you seemed like you were somewhere else in your head. You were hiding this. I was terrified you would think I was weird. That you would stop being my friend. Nathan, we have been through everything together. Did you really think a dress would change how I feel about you? The way he said feel made something flutter in my stomach. I sat down next to him trying to read his expression. How do you feel about me? I asked. Cameron was quiet for a long time. Long enough that I started to regret asking the question. Then he reached over and took my hand. Honestly, seeing you like this makes me understand something I have been trying not to think about for a really long time. What do you mean? I mean that maybe I am not as straight as I have been pretending to be. He looked at me with something vulnerable in his eyes. And maybe the reason I never felt completely satisfied with any of the girls I dated is because I was comparing them all to you. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. This could not be real. Cameron could not be saying what I thought he was saying. Cameron, I said. I think I might be in love with you, he said. I think I have been in love with you for years, but I was too scared to admit it. Too scared of what it would mean about who I am. Before my brain could process what was happening, I leaned forward and kissed him. Soft and careful at first, like I was afraid he would push me away. But he kissed me back. Pulled me closer. Made me feel like everything I had ever dreamed about was finally coming true. When we broke apart, we were both breathing hard. Cameron touched my face gently. That was, he started. A mistake, I finished. Right? You have been drinking. You are confused. Tomorrow you are going to realize you are straight and this never happened. I have not been drinking, Nathan. I am completely sober. And I have never been more sure of anything in my life. He kissed me again. This is real. We spent the rest of the night talking about everything we had been hiding from each other. Cameron told me about years of questioning his sexuality. About being attracted to guys but forcing himself to only date women because that was what everyone expected. about wondering if something was wrong with him for not feeling the way he was supposed to feel. I told him about discovering my feminine side, about the fear of being rejected by everyone including him, about living two separate lives because I thought that was the only way to keep the people I loved. "We are both idiots," Cameron said around midnight while we were lying on my couch. "We could have been together this whole time instead of pretending to be people we are not." "Better late than never?" I suggested. "Better late than never," he agreed. That night he stayed over. We fell asleep on the couch with his arms around me, still wearing my purple dress. It felt like coming home after being lost for years. Then morning came and everything fell apart. I woke up to Cameron sitting on the edge of the couch with his head in his hands. The energy in the room had completely shifted from the night before. "Cameron," I said, sitting up. "I need to tell you something," he said, not looking at me. "Something I should have told you last night, but I was too scared." My stomach dropped. Here it was. The moment he took it all back. The moment he realized he made a mistake. "I am engaged," he said. The words hit me like a physical blow. "What?" "To Lauren. From work. I proposed 3 weeks ago." He finally looked at me, and his eyes were full of tears. "That is why I have been coming over more often. Why I have been acting strange." I was trying to convince myself I was making the right choice. I could not breathe. Could not think. Everything from last night suddenly felt dirty and wrong. So last night was what? A last fling before you commit to being straight forever? No. Last night was me realizing I am making the biggest mistake of my life. That I am about to marry someone I do not love because I am too scared to be who I really am. "Then do not marry her," I said desperately. "I have to. Her parents helped pay for my grad school. They are paying for the wedding. My family is so excited. Everyone is so happy for us." He stood up and started pacing. "I cannot just call it off because I realized I am in love with my best friend who wears dresses." "So you are going to marry her and pretend last night did not happen?" "I do not know what I am going to do," he said. "I just know that I ruined everything. Our friendship. My engagement. My whole life. Because I could not keep my feelings to myself for one more night." We stood there looking at each other across my living room. Two people who had just discovered something beautiful, only to watch it crumble before it even had a chance to begin. "You should go," I said quietly. "Nathan, please. Just go, Cameron. Figure out what you want. But do not come back here unless you are ready to choose me for real." He left without another word. That was 6 hours ago, and I have been sitting on my couch in the same purple dress trying to figure out how everything went so wrong so fast. Then his text came. "We need to talk." Now I am staring at those 3 words wondering what they mean. Is he choosing her? Is he choosing me? Is he choosing some third option I have not thought of? My phone buzzed again. "Can I come over?" I told Lauren everything. "The wedding is off. I need to see you." My hands were shaking as I typed back. "Come over." 20 minutes later, Cameron was standing in my doorway again. This time he looked exhausted and scared and free in a way I had never seen him look before. "I told her everything," he said. "About you. About being attracted to men. About lying to myself for years." She cried, but she said she suspected something was off. Said she deserves someone who is completely in love with her, not just trying to love her. "What did your family say?" "I have not told them yet. That is tomorrow's problem. Right now I just needed to see you. To make sure I did not destroy the only thing that actually matters." I pulled him inside and closed the door. Kissed him like I had wanted to kiss him for 10 years. Like he was choosing me and that choice actually meant something. "I am sorry I did not choose you last night," he whispered against my lips. "I am choosing you now. I am choosing you every day from now on." But here is the twist I did not see coming. The twist that changes everything. 2 weeks later, Cameron introduced me to his family as his boyfriend. It went about as well as expected. His parents were shocked. His brothers were confused. His grandmother looked like she might faint. Then his grandmother did something unexpected. She pulled an old photograph from her purse and showed it to Cameron and me. The photo showed 2 young men in the 1960s standing close together. One of them was clearly Cameron's grandfather. "That is Thomas," she said, pointing to the other man. "Your grandfather's first love. They were together for 2 years before society forced them apart. Your grandfather married me because that was what men did back then. He loved me in his own way, but he never stopped loving Thomas." She looked at Cameron with tears in her eyes. "He made me promise something before he died. Made me promise that if any of our grandchildren turned out like him, I would tell them not to make his mistake. Not to marry someone they do not fully love just because it is easier." "You knew?" Cameron asked. "I have known since you were 16 years old. Mothers always know. I have been waiting for you to figure it out yourself." She looked at me still in my feminine clothes. "Your grandfather would have loved Nathan. Would have loved how brave you both are." She reached out and took both of our hands. "Do not waste years hiding like he did. Like I did, knowing the truth but never saying anything. Life is too short to love only halfway. I am a femboy and I kissed my best friend. That kiss should have destroyed everything. Instead, it revealed truths that had been buried for generations. It freed Cameron from a life of pretending. It showed us both that love can survive even when it is complicated. And it taught us that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose authenticity, even when the easier path is right there waiting for you to take it. 3 seconds destroyed 10 years of friendship. But it built something better in its place. Something honest and beautiful and worth every difficult conversation we will have to navigate together. Sometimes the biggest mistakes turn out to be the best decisions you never knew you needed to make. If you enjoyed this story, you can find more like it in my Femboy and Cross-Dressing Stories bundle. 5 complete stories available now on Amazon for just $4.99. Until next time, keep exploring, feeling, and becoming who you are.